Hello everyone, welcome to the next Let's Play, and it is of Wallace and Gromit in Project Zoo for the GameCube. This is actually not the licensed game that I was planning on doing next in the long line of licensed games that I've played on this channel. But the other one was giving me problems, but I'll talk about that a little bit more later. We have a very long series of cutscenes to watch. So I'm going to let those play out for a little while and check back with you in just a minute.
That means a trip to the zoo. Did you remember to get him a little something or other? Oh my word, yes, Archie'll love that. Much fresher than tinned. Just the thing for a growing polar bear. He's lucky to have us as sponsors. Clear these things away, lad, and we'll deliver it in person. Padlocked? The zoo should have opened an hour ago. This is a fine how do you do for the books. I'm going to speak to the authorities about this. Director Inquiries, could you give me the telephone number for West Wallaby Zoo, please? The zoo's gone ex-directory? Well, this is most irregular. I say, just up... Gromit, what are you doing? What is it, lad? Heavens above, Gromit, it's Archie. And he's sending us a message by airmail. Let me see that. Blinking Nora, Gromit. And there's more and all. SOS Archie. The little lad's in trouble. Feathers McGraw. But he's supposed to be doing porridge in the penguin house. There's something pretty fishy going on here, lad, and it's not just Archie's birthday present. Oh, yes. This should get us inside the zoo, all right. Remember what they say, lad? The penguin is mightier than the sword. Easy over the cobbles, lad. I don't want to spill me cocoa. Oh, action stations, Gromit. Our plan seems to have worked. The penguin has landed. We're inside the zoo, all right, but I can't see any animals. Oh, and now I can't see anything. You haven't got another 10p, have you, lad? And when we do get outside, lad, no barking at the big cats. Silence will be our secret weapon. Oh, give it a shove, Gromit. Me tank top's caught on the latch. Release that bear cub at once, Feathers McGraw, or I'll set me dog on you. Oi! Come back here, you! Come back at once! Oh, unhitch me, lad! To the jungle house, lad! And don't spare the horses! Crikey O'Reilly, Gromit. It's a jungle in here. I wonder who does their windows. Oh, free nuts, lad. Better collect them. Never know when they'll come in handy. I spy trouble ahead. Why are they all working so hard? And look at that young'un. Some brute stuck it in a cage. Who'd be so cruel and heartless? Feathers, Mum. And he's using his control thingamay to send the whatchamacallit over the Ujimaflick. We're not standing for this. His parents can't rescue him, but by heck, we will. Oh dear. Have a nose around for some more nuts, lad. I may be able to recycle this into something more useful.
Okay. That was a lot of cutscenes, and I honestly don't really even remember what happened in them because I recorded the gameplay for this like 3 days ago, and I didn't watch them again just now. But you get the general idea. The polar bear friend has been napped by some penguin boys, or one penguin boy. I don't know. I don't really know anything about this game. I've never played it before, which I guess, yeah, that's the first thing that I should probably mention, is that this is going to be a blind LP. I have never played this game. It's one that has been recommended to me by a lot of people for several years, and I totally understand why. It has a lot of things that, scratch my specific video game itches, which many of you are probably familiar with at this point. It's a platformer, it's a licensed game, it's got a lot of collectibles, stuff to smash open, varying themed world types. It's a Wallace and Gromit thing, so it's got gadgets. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, I don't generally do blind LPs, because I suck at video games and am embarrassed, and like to at least know what I'm getting into. The other reason that I don't do it is because after several past LPs, you know, over the years, especially with emulated games, but also with PC games, like legit copies of PC games where just something doesn't work and makes the game unplayable and I don't know how to fix it. And I don't like having that problem because it can just bring a whole LP to a standstill. And so I like to play through games generally for a number of reasons beforehand, before I LP them, and that is one major reason. The other reason, though, being that I suck ass at games. Not that playing them once through really changes that, and like if the Tomb Raider LP that I just finished is any indication, it certainly doesn't have any bearing on my actual skill at the game. But I also don't like it in a game like this, because this is the kind of game where I would really like to show all of it off, and maybe try to 100% it and show everything, which I could do. I mean, I miss a lot of stuff, this time around. I guess I should say, by the way, I do kind of want to eventually do live commentary for this game, because I haven't done live commentary for an LP in a really long time, actually. And I feel like if there's ever going to be an LP where it would be worth it to do that, it would be a blind LP where, you know, it's my first reactions, even though I do think that the quality of my commentary takes a little bit of a hit when I do it live. But I don't think people really... I mean, these are all things that bother no one except for me. So, yeah, I mean, I'll probably look like a big dummy in this, especially in these first couple of videos. At least this part and the next one are going to be post-commentary, because I've already recorded a couple levels worth of gameplay. But after that, maybe I'll give live commentary a go, and if I don't sound too much like a stuttering moron, and can actually get a couple thoughts out, then maybe I'll keep it going. But yeah, you know, it's my first time through the game, so you're going to see a lot of, I'm, you know, going to miss things. You're going to, if you've played this game, probably wonder why I'm not doing something, probably because I don't realize that you can do it. I guess I'll point them out if and when they become relevant, but, you know, just how all the jumping works, you know, the sort of the physics of this game, especially with the jumping. Like, I miss a lot of pretty simple and easy jumps, because I'm not used to, there's like a tad of a delay from pressing the A button to when Gromit actually like does the jump. And it's not necessarily a flaw or anything, and I've not played very much of the game at all, but I haven't really encountered too much just outright bullshit, and it doesn't seem like the kind of game that would have a bunch of that. It does seem like a generally kind of janky game, like most licensed games are. Yeah, I mean, it's mostly just getting used to it, and yeah, like, just falling off the entire fucking level. But yeah, I don't have too much to say about this first area here. It is, I think, a pretty decent introductory level. There are little hint things everywhere, but I kind of like that this game, with this first level, kind of just lets you go off. You can go in numerous directions. There's a lot of stuff to do on the side that you don't necessarily have to do. And then, you know, the main thing that you're doing, which is just climbing up to the top of the tree and letting the baby elephant go, is pretty straightforward. If you want to, like, just do that, then you can do it pretty quickly if you're not a fucking idiot like me. Like here, I did not know until after I do this part of the level that you can crouch and do a big jump. I noticed that there are some times where Gromit does a big jump, especially when you change direction. I don't know the depth of all the controls in this game. If anyone is, you know, seeing me make mistakes or not understand something and you want to give me some kind of hint or gamer tip, then that would be much appreciated. I thought that I could jump on the elephant. I thought that that's what that part wanted me to do there. And I fucked up this jump earlier, but got it that time. It's a little bit hard to see, like, the spacing of where stuff is. And I like that your life is crackers. It's very nice. I do like Wallace and Gromit. I'm not, like, a Wallace and Gromit aficionado or anything. Like, I'm not an expert on them, but I am very familiar with it. I've seen the Curse of the Were-Rabbit movie that this game is not based on. I think there may be a Were-Rabbit game too, but this is the only one that I actually know about. And yeah, I didn't know. I thought I was pressing Y for the little hint thing, but I just pressed. It didn't register it as that, and just registered it as me doing the Call Wallace button, which it's so funny to me. I mean, it makes perfect sense, but I just think it's hilarious that Gromit is the playable character and Wallace is the, like, character that follows you around. You have to make come to you, that it's just this, like, this silly man who walks around. He does this, like, I can't describe it. I'm doing it with my hands, like you can see me. But he has his little, how he has his hands when he walks, it's very funny. His little shaking hands animation is very funny. I also like how they gave the animation, especially in the cutscenes, the look of the stop motion, like when their mouths move. I don't know if it was, you know, I mean, obviously it was an aesthetic choice, but I imagine it was also a bit of a cost saver. But I mean, I don't actually know that for a fact. But as far as I can tell, each world in this game is split up by, like, what type of animal you're interacting with, and it involves saving the offspring of those animals. That's what at least from the pause menu, that's what I've gathered. But yeah, it's also funny because Y is it's the same button that you press to call Elliot to you in the open season game, so that's why it kind of has it's kind of funny to me. Also didn't know, not that it matters right now because we only have one item, I thought that pressing the B button was just how you take out the gun, but the B button, you hold it and there's actually a menu of items that you can use. And later when we get our second item, which is going to be in the next part, I become very confused about, like, why isn't the gun coming out, and then why isn't the second item, which is the torch, coming out, and I didn't know that you have to select. So, stuff like that. It's stuff that, you know, wouldn't be a thing if I had played the game before, but I didn't, so it is. That's how a blind LP works, for anyone who didn't know that.
Wallace can fix many devices using nuts and bolts.
But yeah, I'd love to, in the course of Let's Playing this, I would really like to go back and revisit Curse of the Were-Rabbit, because it is a very good movie. I saw it in theaters. I remember my mom took me to see it as a consolation prize, because I had to go to the orthodontist that day. It was one of my first orthodontist appointments, and I was really bummed, because I think they told me that I would eventually need braces, which I ultimately did end up getting, and I don't know if that was the day that I got my lip bumper put in, or if, like, I found out I needed it, or what. I don't really remember the timeline of my orthodontia, which sucked big ass. But I just remember it was a shitty day. Like, I had a half day of school, and we got out, and, like, I went to the orthodontist, and she was like, you know what, I'm gonna take you to see a movie because you were good, and, like, I know that going to the orthodontist sucks. I was, like, 8 years old. And she was like, what movie is out? And I was like, Wallace and Gromit's out, and we saw that, and it was a nice time, because Wallace and Gromit just has a certain pleasant and cheeky vibe to it that's comparable to the feeling I get now from, like, SpongeBob stuff and like, Jimmy Neutron, other 2000 stuff that, like, you know, there's something there to appreciate now as an adult, but I also like it just because of the feeling of fondness I feel, because it just gave me a certain vibe as a kid. I don't know. It's tough to describe. And then I have seen 2 of the shorts, I think. I've seen Wrong Trousers and A Close Shave, but not in a very long time. I would also really like to see the Shaun the Sheep movies, and just all the other Aardman stuff. I haven't really been on top of it, but I am an Aardman fan. Like, I really like Chicken Run. I like Flushed Away. I think that's one of the better DreamWorks movies. I haven't seen, like, First Man, or not First Man. Is that what it's called? No, First Man, Early Man, that's what it's called. First Man is the Neil Armstrong movie. But yeah, I haven't seen that. Yeah, I like the Aardman stuff, and I should go back and watch the old Wallace and Gromit shorts as well, and the Shaun the Sheep movies, and then I'll report back to you in this LP if and when I ever do that. Also, since I don't know when else I'll comment on it, I want to say that the sound effects in this game are nice. I especially like the sound of when you pick up the nuts and bolts, which are a nice collectible. And I like the sound of them clinking on the ground when they spawn. It's going to be a little more in the next level when we're inside a temple, spoilers. But because it's like hard floors, and they spill out, and they just make this nice clinky sound, and I like it. And just in general, and especially in this level, but I imagine in most of the game, you know, Wallace and Gromit is known, you know, Wallace is an inventor, so there's all sorts of contraptions and gadgets and stuff, and they make all sorts of nice, clanky, clunky, mechanical sounds, creaky sounds, and, the sounds of, like, switching your items and the stuff on the pause menu. It's all just very nice feel to it. This also has, when you pick up crackers to replenish your health, it has the iconic munching sound. That is the sound when you pick up Scooby Snacks in Scooby-Doo Unmasked, and I think Night of 100 Frights, and a lot of other games. And you'll know what it is when you hear it. It's in everything. It's in, like, every cartoon. I think it must be, like, a stock sound effect at this point. And that's one of those sounds. SpongeBob has a lot of those sounds too, where you hear them everywhere, and you just wonder, like, where did it originate, and, like, how did they make it? Like, that munch sound, is that, like, the sound of, is a person making that sound? Is it someone using physical objects to make the sound, or is it, like, used with, made with computers? Yeah, see, that little roll jump, that big roll jump, like, sometimes Gromit will seemingly randomly do that. If anyone wants to explain to me, like, what is causing that, because here I am trying to replicate whatever I did, and I just can't. So yeah, I don't know what the deal is there. But yeah, lots of nice sounds and stuff. I don't really have anything else to say about it, I just like talking about it. once again, I know I've talked about it before, but harkens back to the days when I was a kid where I was like, oh, one of the jobs that I would definitely love to have is being a Foley artist. Just making the sound effects along with animated movies with a bunch of shit in a sound room. It'd be pretty cool. And yeah, I'm just kind of... you're just gonna have to bear with me throughout this LP. Hopefully when there's live commentary it'll be a little bit better. But I'm glad that I did post commentary for at least the first couple of videos, because it is nice to just be able to ramble and talk openly about this. These are the bonus levels. I only have played this one so far, so it's the only one I can go off of, but I kind of suck at it. Took me many tries, mostly because, again, didn't really know about the physics and spacing and the timing of the jump stuff, so a lot of shit like that of me falling off. And I show a couple of failed attempts here, but then, you know, you just gotta cut to the chase. Because a lot of the time I was making the same mistakes. My main mistakes happened when I tried to swing on this thing instead of climb up it. And then at the end, toward the end with the very narrow platforms, which you'll see in a moment, that I fall off on in a few seconds. It was basically just that happening a bunch of times, which I didn't think people would feel like seeing, you know, 9 times in a row. But I know that to people who are experienced with this game, it must be very painful to see me fuck up these extremely simple and easy jumps. I bet, oh my god, if Bobby watches this, he's gonna think I'm a disgrace. Bobby is a Project Zoo speedrunner, if I'm not mistaken, but at the very least is a fucking connoisseur of this game. And I mean, I hope he watches it because, you know, it's a game that he enjoys and he's told me to play a bunch of times. And I mean, just speaking from the little bit that I've played here, I am enjoying it. And like I said, it has a lot of stuff in it that really scratches some very specific itches of mine. But I suck dick at it, so... But not much I can really do about that. And I do see that coin. I don't know what they're called, so I'm calling them coins. All the way in the distance. Do not know how to get to that. I imagine it's just going on that other platform, but I didn't really feel like risking that because I really just wanted to get to the end here. I assume that you can go back and revisit levels. Maybe toward the end of the LP I'll go back and get all the shit that I missed. Who knows? Also, if anyone was wondering, the game that I was going to do, the licensed game I was going to do, I wanted to keep it a secret, but no point in doing it now. It was B-Movie Game. And I tried 3 different versions of it. One being, I just wanted to show off those little idle animations because I think they're funny. And I had to pause and leave there, that's why the edit was there. I own the B-Movie Game on PC, like a CD-ROM of it, and there's this sound glitch where, like, the sound effects will keep repeating, and it was pretty annoying and pretty distracting, so then I got a PS2 emulator working and did a PS2 ROM, but then the first cutscene, like, slowed down quite a bit, and then it also had a similar sound glitch, and I tried to get the Wii ROM also, but I couldn't get a good setup for the Wii on Dolphin because it uses motion sensing controls, so I think I'll have to wait till I have a capture card to play that game.